What's good, War Report family? We are here, Lobtown, live and in effect. The game is over with. Auburn gets the win by 10 points on the road versus LSU. Come on in here. Let's get the game post-game reaction going. Appreciate everybody who has decided to come jump in over here with your boys at the War Report reacting to this one. Again, Auburn gets the win on the road versus LSU. 87 to 74. So 13 points. I said 10, 13 points. But a ugly game. Let's just call it what it was, an ugly game offensively for Auburn. They only shot 40% in this game, but a good defensive game from Auburn. Even though they gave up the 74 points, a lot of those were from the free throw line. LSU scored 18 points off of the free throw line. Auburn, they shot 47% from the field. But this is just one of those games where you've got to win games like this again on the road. It didn't look pretty, but a 13-point win. Not only did you win, you cover on the road versus an LSU team that's scrappy. That's the kind of stuff you got to win. They scored 87 on a bad shooting night. I need everyone to frame their minds around this. Auburn scored 87 points when they shot the ball 40%. That's a lot about how well they played defensively and how many second chance opportunities they gave themselves. They got 80 shots up in this game, guys. 80 shots up because of the offensive rebounding that happened. Janai Broome still out there playing off of one leg. 26 points and 16 rebounds. As I told you in the pregame, he's going to get a double-double in this game because of his ability to rebound the ball. Not surprised at all in that outcome from Janai Broome. 26 points, 16 rebounds there. Miles Kelly was the story of the first half of this game, really kept Auburn in this game. He came ready to play from the very beginning. 13 points from Miles Kelly on 5 of 10 shooting out there. 2 of 7 from 3. It felt like he didn't shoot the ball particularly that poorly from 3. But again, 2 big 3-point makes out there for Miles Kelly. 3-point shooting has been interesting for Auburn. Chaney Johnson was perfect on his 3-point shots in this game, 2 of 2. But Tahad Pettiford, 1 of 5. Denver Jones, 1 of 4. Janai Broome, 0 of 2. And where's the other one that I'm looking for here? It is Chad Baker-Mazara, who was 1 of 4. Like, not very good 3-point shooting in this game for Auburn overall. Only 38.5%. 32%, 38.5 in the second half there. But 32% is we're talking about a team or a collection of guys that was shooting in the high 30s, had guys that were on 40% for the season, and that has taken a deep tailspin of late from these guys. So they've got to figure out how to get that going in a better way right now. Looking forward to having some better outcomes from Auburn. But appreciate you guys coming in here. If you are in here right now and you have not shared the live, then please go ahead and do that. And go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I don't know how many new people we're bringing in here, but hopefully people can continue to find the channel because of the great things that you all are doing out here. Again, my apologies to everybody that's not Green Name Game. It doesn't get to hear me sit here and rant and rave throughout the game about the things I like and dislike through the game, but you'll get to hear some of my thoughts now in post game. Tim, I'll start off the reactions here with you. You say my 88 to 74 prediction was almost spot on. Should have bet the house on it. That was a very good prediction. 87 to 74, bro. Like, you were 1 point off of the total right there. Definitely gotta appreciate Robert, who's gifted another membership, so somebody else gets to be part of Green Name Gang for a month. Appreciate y'all very much for doing the things like that. Robert jumps in. Road win in the SEC, always big. Absolutely. I think people get frustrated with what they see and forget that these are tough games for people to be able to win, which are road SEC games, and you win the game by 13, right? So it's not, you didn't barely eke out a win. It felt hairy there, but you won this game going away. This game probably felt closer than it should have been, but you win and you cover in this game. Not bad for Auburn in this one. Cam says Janai Broome is the player of the year, point blank, period. Listen, I don't know how a guy on one leg scoring 26 points on the road with a 26-16 double-double is not the player of the year. I don't care what that dude at Duke is doing right now. He's not doing this. Yeah, Janai Broom's the player of the year. Just go ahead and go ahead and write his name in on the trophy. Heavy with the super chat. Appreciate that very much. Says we won by double digits, but it almost felt like a loss. What is wrong with me? It didn't feel like a loss to me, my boy. I get it. It's frustrating to watch the team struggle a little bit in some of those instances. But man, I'm not mad at a win on the road in the SEC. If this had been at home, I think I probably would have been a little more frustrated with the outcome in this game. But most of the things that I thought were going to happen happened in this game. When we go and we look at kind of what the differentiators in this game were, points off of turnovers, 22 for Auburn. I said Auburn needed to be able to capitalize on sloppy play from LSU that you're going to be able to get. They forced 20 turnovers and got 22 points off of those turnovers. Very much expected. They were going to get opportunities to shoot threes. I said you didn't need to fall in love with those threes shooting over the top. They shot 25 in this game, only made 8 of them. So I think they should have gotten downhill a little bit better. But again, not unexpected from what I've watched in LSU playing this year. 47-34, the differentiating in rebounds. Auburn had 47 to LSU's 34. I expected Auburn to dominate the boards. Offensive rebounds, 25-11. Auburn got 25 offensive boards. Again, expected in this game. You expect to dominate the board, specifically on the offensive glass versus LSU. Did a much better job in the second half of getting second chance points, 20 second chance points. LSU got 14. LSU did a better job of capitalizing off of their second chance opportunities, but Auburn still wins the battle there because they get more of them. Bench points in favor of Auburn, 24-18. Auburn, a deeper team, expected that. Points in the paint, 40 as opposed to 28 from LSU, expected that. Fast break points, though, there's where the differential is a little bit. LSU actually wins the fast break points 20-18. Auburn didn't do a good job on a couple of fast break scenarios where they had open buckets. They waited and the defense was able to get back. LSU did a good job of getting back in transition, but not a great job by Auburn of getting fast break buckets off of some of those turnovers. Surprisingly, LSU with 9 blocks in this game to Auburn's only 4. That's the one statistical place where I was surprised that was a thing. But LSU does win the battle there. 15 steals to Auburn to only 7 for LSU. 16 assisted buckets on their 32 shots. Not right about half of their shots off of assist. About what you expect. LSU, 10 of their buckets off of their 10 assists off of their 24 buckets. Not bad for them. Assist to bucket ratio. Assist to turnover ratio is abysmal though. They had 10 assists, but 20 turnovers. Auburn, conversely, 16-9. So not a bad ratio there. But yeah, overall, about what I expected to have happen in this game. So not bad. Let's see. Tim in here talking about that Bama game. I ain't looking at it right now. I'll go rewatch the Bama game later. I got work I gotta do. I'll let y'all handle that. Robert apparently watching that game as well. 1 away from 20. What was 1 away from 20? They had 19 of what? What are you referring to as 20 away from 20? I'm not sure what that was. You're talking about the wins on the season? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah. Heavy with another super chat. I promise from now on to enjoy wins and not overthink the game. I don't think you're overthinking the game. I think, again, it felt ugly. But see, this Heavy. See, here's what I will encourage you to do more of. Listen to Ike Jones when he previews the games, because he will warn you about things like this, and you will expect a sloppy, frenetic pace because that's what LSU likes to force. And Auburn just needed to do a better job of really moving the ball more quickly because LSU, in their athleticism, does a good job of help defense. So you would have seen a lot of things that you would expect. What I did not like, 100% frustrated me, was the misses around the rim by both Janai Broom, Chaney Johnson, Dylan Cardwell. The misses around the rim were frustrating to watch because they just need to be able to make those shots. I like this take right here, Juice. Hudson, player of the game, played valuable minutes. He absolutely played his tail off in this game. Again, the box score sometimes isn't going to show that stuff, but I love the minutes that you got from Turtle in this game. Jaheim Hudson was very crucial in this game, in a game in which your bigs were in foul trouble. Both Chaney Johnson, Dylan Cardwell in foul trouble in this game. You needed some minutes there. First half of the game, Janai Broome not playing particularly well. So foul trouble plus some stagnant play from Broome. You needed those minutes from him, and he played valuable minutes, particularly on the defensive side of the floor, to be able to make sure that he was forcing some tough action. He had a few boards there. Let's look at the stat line for him. 7 points on 3 of 3 shooting, made the 1 3-point shot that he took, 2 really good rebounds, 1 assist there, and only 2 personal fouls in 9 minutes. Very efficient 9 minutes. 7 points in 9 minutes. Gotta love that from Jaheim Hudson. Very good minutes from him tonight. Let's see here. Hell says, what about Pegues getting some early minutes? Yeah, I was surprised to see him get out there and get those minutes. I think that was because you had Denver Jones, who wasn't playing really well early in the game offensively, so they wanted to give some time for maybe Pegues to get in there and see if he could get it right. I don't think Pegues played bad minutes, but he didn't really impact the game one way or another. Another stat line for him is a goose egg in his 3 minutes. He didn't do anything good, but didn't do anything bad. So he was just kind of out there. Super chat again from Heavy says, I promise to listen to the pregame so I won't be as nervous and frustrated while I'm watching the game as life allows. Hey, man, listen, I understand sometimes you can't. I usually try to keep them below 15 minutes so they are a quick, easy listen. So hopefully I give you guys some good insights on what to expect during those pre-games. So when we get into the game, you'll be like, man, I said that probably was going to happen. Like I think if you go and listen to the points I made in the pregame, and even if you just pop in the 30 minutes prior to the game, I try to do like a little pregame right then. I recap some of that. I think a lot of the stuff that I said came to fruition throughout this game. So, again, I'll pat myself on the back a little bit for that. Let's see here. What else do we have from our folks here? Other things in this game. I love Chad Baker Mazzara's ability to impact games when he's not shooting well. And let's be clear, he did not shoot the ball well today. 3 of 12 shooting on 1 of 4 from 3. Missed a couple of free throws there, unexpected, but 2 rebounds, 7 assists though. So 7 assists in this game. And he had 11 points in total in the game. His ability to impact the game, particularly on the defensive end, right? Like, I think let's kind of look at this full stat line right here. Chad gives you another 3 steals and a block in this game. So Chad impacting the game in multiple ways, really good there. Chris Moore, 5 boards in this game, some good hustle minutes there for you. Dylan Cardwell. Dylan was kind of up and down for me. I think he did some good things out there, but a couple of, like, his early turnover where he's trying to save the ball and he throws it back to the other team early. That was a bad turnover. But he did get 6 boards in this game, 2 of 4 from the field. I think, he was playing hesitantly on offense. And then he missed a really easy bunny there, like right at the rim with no contest. I think Dylan had a kind of shaky game there for me. Again, his minutes have been kind of limited. He played 19 in this game, but a lot of that I think was foul trouble for him. He is playing with a brace on his knee, right? So last week I thought the situation was cramps. Now it's seeming like maybe it's a knee situation for him because he's playing with that brace on there right now. So I don't know what's going on with Dylan with the lower extremity situation. So that's something we have to monitor and see how that comes down the stretch for him as far as his ability to play more minutes. New game here, here. Harvey Sanji, I guess that's how you pronounce that. Love the Broome's passion for the game of men's basketball. I ain't gonna hold you. That feels very like, I don't want to sound crazy. That sounds very like like a bot almost said that, but that could be like English as a second language type of thing too. So apologies if you are a real person saying that. Auburn turned them over. Oh, excuse me, wrong one. Clear. Auburn turned them over. In my opinion, that's the biggest factor. Absolutely. The Auburn defense in this game was why Auburn was able to keep control of this game. Even when Auburn had to come back and take the lead, it was the defense that spurred that on. So, and this is what I mean about when you're the best team in the country, when you're the number one team in the country, you have to find different ways to win games. Here's the thing I don't think enough Auburn fans do, because I understand that this is a primarily football fan base, right? Two things that I think Auburn basketball fans need to find a way to do. Number one is to understand that how basketball games go with the ebbs and flows of games. It's not like football. Like teams go on runs, people get hot. So like you're going to find things like that happen throughout the course of the games. Number one, just understand basketball a little bit better to that. So, and number two, watch more basketball games, particularly games for other teams that are not in the SEC that you're not just hate watching like Bama, so that you can see that some of the things that people hate, like, oh man, it's Auburn team, they scare me because they do XYZ. All teams across the country do this. They do. They go through dry spells in portions of the season. They have close calls, particularly on the road. That is not an unusual thing for college basketball games to have happen. Go and watch more basketball, and I promise you, you will not feel as bad. You're going to watch with a less critical eye because you're going to be like, oh, such and such just sucks. And then you're going to see Auburn do a thing bad, and you're going to be like, man, we got to play better. It's the nature of basketball, man, specifically college basketball, when you've got athletes just kind of really watching for, or excuse me, when you got college athletes really trying to adjust to a new pace of play. It's going to happen. You don't have like the NBA where you're going to have 9 and 10-year vets playing heavy minutes. These are people who haven't played at this level but 1, maybe 2 years for the most part. So you're going to see some sloppiness. You're going to see an adjustment to the new speed and the athleticism that they're going against on a consistent basis. So it's going to look sloppy sometimes. And these are still student athletes. So they've got to figure out how to balance what they're doing on the basketball court with trying to do school. And they're still probably spending too much time doing other stuff that ain't got nothing to do with basketball in school. It's going to happen, man. And so I just encourage y'all to watch more basketball, and you'll have different opinions about kind of how good or bad a team is, and not just analyze things on a statistical basis. And you'll see, okay, Auburn's still a really good basketball team that won by 13 points on the road in conference when they were picked by Vegas to win 12.5. So you cover on the road in conference versus a pesky team that just played well on the road against Bama in the game before, and you'll realize this is actually a really good outcome for Auburn, even though it looked sloppy. So they won the game how they needed to win the game. That's something I just encourage y'all to do. Just go watch a little bit more ball, man, and I think you'll enjoy games a little bit differently if you can figure out how to do that. All right. I'm gonna get out of here because again, I got a lot of work I still got to do today, and it's starting to get late. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me. Before you get out of here, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, share the content with somebody. We'll be back at you guys. We moved the midweek show to tomorrow, so midweek report going down tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about this game with the guys as well as some Auburn football. Until the next time, and as always, War Eagle, holla at y'all. Peace.